Hi, my name is Zubin and I specialize in public speaking and presentation skills. In my previous videos, I had talked about posture, I talked about standing tall, and I also told you about the rule of movement, which was walk, stop and talk. In this video, I'm going to tell you about another important aspect about presenting in front of an audience, and that is eye contact with the audience. In this, we use a technique which we call the Lighthouse Technique. So what does it mean? Just as a lighthouse moves left to right and guides the ships, we use a modification of that when we're presenting, and we adapt what the lighthouse does, but in our own way when we're presenting in front of an audience. So when you're in front of this group and you are presenting, you're speaking, you will find that you can divide that group in your mind visually into different sections. So your audience might be a very large one, or it could be a smaller one. But they are seated across to your left, to your right, farther from you as well. Some are closer to you. So when you look at the audience, you need to see what your audience span is. What I mean by that is when you look towards your left, you will see who is to your extreme left, and then you turn towards your right and you see who is to your extreme right. And then mentally, you divide the audience into sections. So you have, here's to my left, the front part, there are about 8 people, 10 people. It's one section here. And then behind them, there are another 10 or 20 people, another section there. Maybe to your right, in front, there are 7 or 8 people, that's one section, and so on. So you can mentally create these sections in your mind. And then when you are speaking, spend an equal amount of time in terms of eye contact with each section in the audience. So say you have a small audience and you have mentally divided them into 4 different sections. So whenever you're speaking, you look at one section for some time and then turn your head, look at another section for some time, and another section, and then another section, which means I am not ignoring any particular section in the audience. Now what happens to a speaker or a presenter is that sometimes you find this group of people, this section, which is very friendly, and they're smiling at you, they're nodding their heads, and you feel that they're listening to you and they're liking what you're saying. On the other hand, you might sometimes find some group of people, some section, where you see some people who are looking a little grumpy or maybe looking disinterested. And what happens to us as presenters or speakers is we would then tend to spend more time in terms of eye contact looking at the section which is friendly to us and not looking at the section which is not. And that's something we need to avoid. We should not be doing that. We have to spend an equal amount of time with each section of the audience, whether they look friendly or they don't. Now what happens when you look at each section is, because the people are a little farther away from you, they would feel visually, they would look at you and feel that you are looking at them. And that creates a connect with each and every individual in the audience. Now if you tend to ignore a particular section, what will happen is that people who are in that section will not tend to connect with you anymore, and they will lose interest and they will stop listening to you. So to be able to engage with your audience, eye contact is extremely important. You can practice this the next time you are speaking or presenting, and ensure that that practice continues in each and every presentation until it becomes a habit for you. And then you would not find it difficult anymore. You don't really need to think about eye contact anymore. You would do it naturally. I hope you can do this and be more successful in your next presentations. Until the next aspect and the next video, goodbye.